Oh, but that's not a sustainable option for me. Okay, then what is a sustainable option for you? Oh, well, we just do this for, maybe a month, 6 weeks, and then we go back to life. Right. I see. So what you're actually looking for, what you're actually after is a magic pill. You're looking for a stopgap, a quick fix. Everything gets better. I do this for a little while, and then I could just magically go back to what I was doing before. Like nothing ever changed. Like this didn't change my life at all. Right, gotcha. So that's what you're after. The problem is that's not an answer. That's the definition of insanity. I want to do what I've done before, but get completely different results. That's not how this life works. It's not how anything in our life works. But this is how so many people want to treat their life. This is how so many people want to treat it, especially when it comes to health and fitness. Every year, around this time of year, I get people who are like, hey, I have insert event. Please completely change every aspect of my life so that I'll look good for insert event. From going to the beach, from wedding, from Christmas party, from birthday dinner, from high school reunion to, everything in between. I have this really special event and I want to look my best. What can we do? Can we drop 30 kilos in the next 30 days? Sure can. We can absolutely do that for you. Oh, really? Fantastic. How do we do that? Just stop fucking eating. That's the answer. But that's not real answer. That's not an actual answer. But we have this notion of, I want this. I want to completely see every aspect of my life change. I want to transform and have the greatest body ever. Oh, what do you mean I actually have to work for it? What do you mean I have to actually show up consistently? What do you mean it takes time, effort, and consistency? Oh, I don't want to do that. I don't want to change those things. I don't want to give up my vices. I just wanted to temporarily put them on hold for a little bit and then achieve some great results and then go back to my life. That's insanity. That is literally insanity. But that's the culture that has been built in health and fitness. That's why yo-yo dieting is so prevalent and such an issue. It's why people don't see sustained results in anything, but especially fitness. Because you are trying to hold on to the past. You are trying to hold on to this little hope or these little things that you like that don't actually serve you. The biggest and most empowering moment in your life will be the moment when you can honestly step forward and go, I'm ready to be the man I want to be. I'm ready to step forward and become who I am destined to be. I'm ready to uncover my potential. And within that, I am willing to do whatever is required. I'm willing to do the work, no matter what. That is when life will change. And I had this discussion with you the other day that I talk about it all the time, that it's really easy to say I want to do things. But until you decide, full force, full focus, full passion, that you are going to give up your vices, you are going to give up the things that are holding you back, and you know what they are. You know. It's not in the category of you don't know what you don't know. You know the things that you shouldn't do. They are the obvious ones. You know what they are. But until you honestly and wholeheartedly decide that you are no longer going to partake in them, they will have a stranglehold on you. In your moments of weakness, they will come back. In your moments when you are at your lowest ebb, when you're tired and you're exhausted, they will rear their fucking ugly head and they will catch you. They will catch you off guard. And then you're fucked. To put it bluntly, and then you're fucked. So we need to actually step forward. We need to actually step up. We need to actually be the one to admit that, yeah, it's going to be really, really hard. That it's going to take a lot of effort and commitment, and we may stumble along the way. But we are going to commit to something that might seem crazy, that might seem impossible, that might seem downright ludicrous. But if you pull it off, and I say if, but to be honest, I mean when. I do mean when. Everything in your life will get better. But for as long as you are holding to this notion of, well, it's just temporary, it's just for a short period of time and then I'll go back to my normal life, it's not going to work. Your results are going to be subpar. You are not going to achieve what you want. And if you do, it won't last. And to be honest, I think that's worse. I often think that's way fucking worse. Because it means you put in the effort and then you're like, that's enough. Let's go back to where we were. Let's give up on everything we've just done and go back to who we were. That sounds like an intelligent use of our time. No. Fucking commit. See who you can be. See what your potential is. See what's on the other side. As I said, and I made a pact with a friend that when I entered phase 3 of 126 to Greatness, I was giving up every single vice for the next 126 days. No ifs or buts, no holding on to, no. See, when we get there, I was going to give them all up. Because though I liked them, they aren't serving me. Yeah, I enjoy watching TV. I enjoy, not that I've had it for a long ass time, apart from the couple of dips out, but I enjoy alcohol. I enjoy sugar. I enjoy junk food. I enjoy all of those things. I enjoy social media. And as I've said, it's not true enjoyment. It is dopamine chasing. You enjoy the little micro dopamine hit that you get from it. You don't actually enjoy it. It doesn't actually bring pleasure. It doesn't actually improve your life. It doesn't actually bring any value to your life. You just enjoy the dopamine. And as a once in a blue moon, there is nothing fucking wrong with that. As an every single day thing, or the majority of your life thing, yeah, that's a problem. That's an issue. And that's something that needs to be addressed. But I started this journey of 126 to Greatness because I honestly wanted to know, what could I achieve? Who could I be if I gave up all the vices? If I just tossed them all in? The only things I did in my life were of value, of true happiness, or of looking after myself. They didn't fall under those 3 categories. I didn't do them. So basically my entire life would be spent being with my family, building a business of value, or looking after my physical and mental health. If it doesn't fall under those 3, just don't do it. Who could I be if I stopped wasting time? Who could I be if I actually committed all in to those things? I don't know. But I'm dying to find out. I think I've done a reasonable job in my life already. I've shown what the level of commitment is. I've shown what is possible when you just keep showing up. But what's possible if you show up at the highest fucking level? If you remove all distractions, all obstacles, all time wasting, all of those things, who can you be? I don't know. But I think that's worth it finding out. I think that's worth exploring. I think that's worth seeing who you could be. Don't you? Don't you think that's worth finding out? I do. So I dedicated phase 3 of 126 to Greatness to it. But as I've said many times before, you'd be shocked at what is possible with consistency and hands in daylight, work ethic, and just showing up. Lots of people believe that what I do is unsustainable. I'm rapidly heading towards a whole year of doing it every single day. Is that unsustainable? I think I could do this forever, but I've shifted my values on it. I've shifted what I prioritize. I don't value things that do not provide anything in my life. I don't value the things that don't improve my life. Does that mean I won't have downtime anymore? No, absolutely not. But the downtime will be things of actual downtime that bring rejuvenation, that aren't sedation. It will be spending quality time with my wife or my children. It will be spent doing things that actually reset me and allow me to go forth with energy. Not TV, not video games, not social media scrolling. Things that are actually improving my life or rejuvenating me to improve my life. It's about focusing on the things that matter to me. And I think this is a forever evolving game, because I've spoken before about it, that you can look at the things that you truly value in your life by the things that you give your time and focus to. So when you step back and you actually analyze them, when you step back and actually look at them, what are you saying you value? What are you saying is important to you? Because I have a feeling it might not be the things you're actually saying. And it took me a long time to get to the point where I was willing to give up all those things. I had to start with the junk food. I had to start with the hypocrisy that I was living under. I had to start with the things that, on the physiological level, the things that allow me to do the things I want to do, the vehicle to do the great things in my life. I had to start with that. I had to start building a body that was capable of doing these things. And now I can take on the next thing. Now I can take on all of the vices. But I'm also under no illusion that this isn't going to be easy. I'm under no illusion that this is probably going to be the hardest challenge of my life. And yet when I started 126 to Greatness, when I started chasing greatness, when I started at the beginning of this, I thought that would be the hardest challenge of my life. 260 odd days into it now. That's just become normal. That's just become my new normal. That's become my baseline. So it's time to elevate and set a new baseline. But what's sustainable comes down to what you place value on. When you say that, exercising every day or eating nutritious food every day isn't a sustainable option, what you're truly saying is, I don't value this enough to do it every day. I only value it enough to give you a month, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 12 weeks. I don't value it enough to go, maybe I should look at this becoming the norm. That I should look at this becoming my baseline. Maybe I should attach enough value to my health and my fitness that it means everything, and everything else comes around that. So we talked about it before, the king eats first. If you aren't looking after you, all those that you provide for, all those who look up to you, all those who depend on you are fucked. At some point, it's going to catch up to you that if you don't look after you, you can be the greatest provider on the planet. But if you aren't looking after you, it's going to catch up with you. Look, maybe it won't be now. Maybe it'll be 10 years or 20 years or 30 years. Who knows? But at some point, the decision to not look after you will catch up to you. So I think you figure out a way to make it sustainable. I think if you were a father, you figure it the fuck out on how to make being the healthiest and fittest version of yourself a sustainable option for your life. You figure out how to just make that the norm. You figure it out. Because, and people always get ruffled when I say this, but if not, you're saying, well, fuck you, kids. Fuck you, my wife, my partner. Fuck you guys. I'd rather choose sedation over being here for the long term. I'd rather choose easy and comfortable over doing what is required to produce the best possible life for you. I'd rather choose myself and my own enjoyment and my own satisfaction over providing for you like I promised I would. I don't think there is any higher honor as a man than being the provider for your family. But if you aren't also looking after you, your health, your fitness, the vehicle that allows you to do that, at some point, that debt is going to be called in and you cannot afford it. You cannot afford that debt to be called in. That is going to be a problem. So start putting yourself forward. Start looking after you. Start setting the example for them. God, they'll thank you for it. And it doesn't mean being a selfish prick and being like, oh, it's time for me to work out. Fuck you guys. No, it means figuring it out to find time for it. It means maybe making it a family activity. My kids still love to work out because daddy works out. They want to be like daddy. Build it into that. But you cannot fill up other people's cups if your cup is empty. Imagine you have a cup of water and you want to give a little bit to, Johnny, and a little bit to Sally, and a little bit to your partner, and a little bit to your friends, and a little bit to your co-workers, a little bit to the people that you serve, a little bit to your community. Lo and behold, there's no fucking water left. And so then you go to the next day and give a little bit more. Oh, but it didn't get refilled because you didn't make time for it to be refilled. You didn't make time for you. If your cup is constantly running empty, you cannot give to those around you. You cannot give to those that you care about. So that's an issue. That's the problem. That's the gap. That's where you are missing the mark. You have to look after you. You have to figure out how being the healthiest, fittest, strongest, greatest version of you is sustainable. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but it's damn well worth it. It's damn well worth the effort. It might just be the greatest thing that you ever do with your life. I hands down, wholeheartedly believe that the greatest thing that I have ever done with my life, and I hope that there are many great things to come for me. I hope that I have barely scratched the surface of my potential. But I know for a fact that the greatest thing that I will ever do with my life is my children. And there is no higher honor or privilege than being the best version I can be for them. And as I said, it doesn't mean being a selfish prick. It doesn't mean working constantly and never seeing your children. It means being the greatest version of yourself, but being present when you are with them, being in the moment, showing up, being able to play with them and participate with them and do the things they want to do. I know many men who work their asses off, but who do not then have the capacity to be present with their children. Yes, you are doing a great honor by providing for them, but also you need to then be present and be one with them and be in the moment with them. You need to show up on both ends. And it's not easy. By any stretch of the imagination is that ever going to be easy. But it's worth it. It's the greatest gift that you can give them and yourself. I cannot fathom anything greater in life than being a father and giving them the best version of me and showing up as the best version of myself and giving them that honor. It's an honor and a privilege to be a father. But you need to show up like it is. You need to show up like it's the greatest privilege of your life. Like it was absolutely worth it. So you need to act like it. You need to look after your health and fitness. You need to show up as the best version of yourself that you can be. As I said, it's not going to be easy, but it's well worth it. It's worth the effort. It's worth it to show up like that. It's worth everything that comes with it. But you have to show up first. You have to figure out how to make choosing health and fitness the sustainable option. You have to break out from society. You shouldn't want to fit into society. You shouldn't want to fall under that average dad who doesn't participate in his children's life, who's too tired, who falls asleep on the couch because, he worked all day. And especially if you work an office job. Just especially then, you need to then show up as a better version of yourself. You need to show up and be present. You need to figure out how to be sustainable. How to figure out how to do that for the rest of your life. Exercise, good nutrition, making the right choices isn't an option. It's a non-negotiable. Your life should be built around being the healthiest, fittest, strongest version of yourself. You cannot be the best man. You cannot show up as the best version of yourself if you are not putting in the effort there. It's just not possible. So shift your paradigm, shift your priorities, shift what truly matters to yourself. Start choosing those things so that you can continue to be the father you want to be, so that you can continue to show up as the best version of yourself. As I said, it's not going to be easy, but god damn is it going to be worth it. Even if you don't have children, you have to look after you. You get one opportunity in this life. You get this body. And everybody squanders health and fitness until it's gone. And then it's the only thing that matters. So start choosing this. Figure out the time, the money, the effort. Figure out how you are going to get it done. Because when it's gone, you will regret it. You will regret the moment that health leaves you. You will regret the moment that you do not have the capacity to do the things you want to do anymore. Start acting like it is this great privilege, because it is a great fucking privilege to be strong, fit, and healthy. And honor that. And make it a reality. Find the time, find the money, find the effort. And get it done. So if you're ready for that, join me. Join me by joining Chasing Greatness. Shoot me a message. Let's get you in. Let's make that a reality. If you're not quite there yet, if somehow that didn't get through to you, click the link in my bio. Grab your top 10 tools to transform your mental toughness. And lastly, if this spoke to you, if this resonated with you, if this hit a nerve, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Help me spread this word. I'm sharing these things because I'm going through this journey. I'm sharing the life lessons as I experience them. And I want you to be able to learn from them. I want you to learn from my mistakes and inspire you so that you don't have to go down that path. You don't have to make those same mistakes, because I've been there. I've been the father who's been out of shape, who's been overweight, who hated the man in the mirror. And I don't want to let down my children by being that version ever again. So I'll be back again tomorrow to continue sharing this journey as I go through it. Until then.